Okay, what's up, everybody? RevSauce9. Make sure to rate, like, and subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell icon so you get notified when I go live, when I do something here. Same thing on all my other streaming and video and social media platforms that I throw this video up on that allows me to. Make sure to be doing the things. I would appreciate you long time. If you've been sticking around this channel and not unfollowed or unsubscribed, I appreciate you. Thank you for sticking with me and by me. We need to talk about this ID verification shit because a lot of you are confused. So here's what's happening. The EU passed a bill or whatever, legislation, whatever, that states that the internet for kids need to be more protected. There needs to be ID checks, yada, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? In that, all that, it makes everybody verify. So if you're on X, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, you have to verify with your ID now to verify your age, to say who you are. It's a good idea in theory, but the way they're implementing it is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And a lot of these entities and places are not clarifying where if you take a selfie and you take your ID, where's that data going? Where's that data being protected? I'm all for protecting children, right? I'm all for it, right? You know, if parents can't do it, okay, cool. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, where's the line, right? And I get kids need to be protected. I get it. But parents should be doing better parenting. It shouldn't be the government. Like, I don't like when government steps in when it comes to health, when it comes to things. I've always been that way. It's like, I don't understand, like, the government telling me how I should live my life. No, thank you. Stay out of it. And with this, it's kind of like that. It's like, I understand the part of it, and then I don't understand most of it. You know what I mean? Like, where are you sending my data to? Like, is it going to be verified? Is it going to protect me? Or is it going to be leaked on the internet somewhere like 10 years down the line? I just went through identity fraud, okay? I had somebody use my identity for job reasons, right? Recently. I had to go through the 50 shades of scrubbing my stuff off the internet, and it was a pain. My aunt just had to go through it. And then my other aunt had to go through it. It's a pain. It's not something that I wish on anybody. And it sucks because you have to stop what you're doing. You can't get work. You can't get things because of things. It's just, it's a pain. And what are these companies doing to protect our data? That's the question. Facebook, X. X is lackluster right now. They've lost the plot. Elon Musk has lost the fucking plot. Like, he don't protect his people. He sells it off to the highest bidder for crypto and shit. It's like, to me, it's like, what are you guys doing to protect our data? That's the $1 million question. What's going to happen 10 years down the line? That's my question. And with all of this, I get it, protecting kids. This is going to be the new ESRB rating system. This is going to be the new way of checking if you're 18 or not. You should be allowed to play the game or not. I get they're putting things in place, but I don't need bigger brother or bigger lady telling me how I should live my life. That's the other thing too. With this, you are policing what I am doing. You are telling me how I should live my life. And I don't like when government does that. It's just not okay to me. But I understand why they're doing this, because they're protecting kids to a lot of extents. They have to. There had to have been better systems in place. But at the same time, that should come down to the parents. Parent your child. Parent your people. Right? My mom was on top of me. If I did anything shady, I was getting whooped. I was getting grounded. I was getting things taken from me. Did it stop me from finding LimeWire, Kazaa, and all these other places when I was a kid? Hell no, it didn't. But, you know, you live and learn. That's being a kid. But kids have ways. They're going to find ways to find workarounds to this. Trust me when I say this. When I was saying this in groups, people were like, oh, well, this is going to, no, kids won't. Are you saying, no, kids will find what they need to find. It's just the way the world works. Kids will find workarounds. Kids will discover. Kids, when I was a kid, if I couldn't get it, I found ways to get it. You know what I mean? Kids are going to find ways to get it no matter what. There's VPNs. Kids will find ways to where they can not have to deal with ID checks. And that's what's going to happen. And eventually what's going to happen, VPNs are going to be blocked by these game publishers and things like that. That's what's going to happen. Or what they're going to do is they're going to put algorithms in place that prevent VPNs and stuff like that. They're already doing it with mobile games. Like, for instance, like even if I tunnel into their country that where this game is supported, they still tell me no because they recognize it's a VPN. So at the end of the day, all this stuff, to be real with you, is to me disgusting, and I think they're overreaching on things, but I understand it to a lot of extents. I'm kind of in the middle where I understand it, and then I'm just like, I just went through a whole bunch of shit with my shit being leaked on the internet or stolen and all the bullshit that goes alongside of it. And I don't understand it, why they're doing this, and are they protecting our data really? And then I understand all the YouTubers that are talking about this because I'm kind of on the same boat as them and I'm kind of on the same playing field and understand it. Then I understand, okay, we're trying to protect our kids, but we got to find a better solution than this though. I understand what the EU was trying to do, but at the same time, I don't, because what about my data? What are you doing with my data? That's the $1 million question. It's bad enough when I have to go to the DMV website. It's bad enough when I have to go and file my taxes. It's bad enough when I have to go and do these things and have to do 3 forms of ID checks and then they never work properly. I got to do 1,000 times and sit there for 30, 40 minutes. That's also the other inconvenience out of all this. The systems that they're using in play. I get Microsoft. I get these companies. They want to protect children. But the way they're going about it is not it for me, Chief. Microsoft's notoriously bad. You say any cuss words. That's why I stopped chatting in IMs or DMs and things like that on Xbox in general, because they're recording you. Microsoft put things in place to where they can record your conversation and you could send it off and AI could ban your ass the next minute, and you only get 8 bans a year. And after that, you're permabanned, IP ban. Goodbye. So yeah, like the stuff they're doing on the internet is kind of egregious to me, but I understand it to a certain extent, but then I also don't. So, to me, these ID checks, they gotta be very more clarifying about them. They need to explain it better. Especially spicy stuff. Like I get what they're trying to do with kids, but if you're already ID verified, why does it have to show up a warning on things? Oh, it's like I've already it's like, okay, cool. Like, okay, then your system is stupid and it's broken, right? To me, parents should be policing their kids better. In 2025, I don't understand the generations. I don't get it. Police your kids. Simple as that. Police your fucking kids. And if you can't police your kids, then why have kids in the first fucking place? Why? If you're not willing to do things, to put things in place, then why? Why be a parent then? I don't get that logic. Why have kids if you're not going to police your kids? I don't get that. I don't get the entitlement shit. I don't get the shit. And look, parents made this happen. People in the EU are so outraged that this is happening. And I get it to an extent, but this brings up the other topic of censorship. This is going to really, really, really fuck with a lot of the foundations of a lot of governments. It's just, look, I could go and dive deep into this, and then it would be like the Twilight Zone and you know what I mean? And I could put my tinfoil hat on, but this is not a politic or government type deal, but this also brings up like the identities and data mining and things like that in dark web shit. And it's like, we're in a scary time. And hopefully they find a middle ground with this, because the EU is getting backlash on this. And I can't blame people for being upset. I'm not upset. I'm more of annoyed. It's like you're putting hurdles on things that you didn't need to. I get that the EU wants fair trade with marketplaces when it comes to, the Play Store and iOS and all the shit. And I get it. And I get the EU wants, removable batteries, and I get the whole thing. But, it's the same how I feel about bringing manufacturing, chip jobs back to America. It just makes no sense, because we're going to be paying 3 times the price. And with the EU doing this, it's just going to make prices go up. It's going to make it harder for people. And it's just, to me, it's out of bounds. And I feel like they've lost the plot. And I feel like they're missing the point. And a lot of this could have been stopped and diverted by parents policing their kids. and doing what they need to be doing. This is my opinion. Look, you could disagree with my opinion. You could say I'm wrong. That's cool. People will say, "Oh, these ID checks are great." I don't know what you're talking about, man. They're great. But yeah, what are they doing to put protections in place when you take a selfie and your ID? What are they doing to protect you? None of these companies are talking about this. Like when they get hacked and data gets leaked, what is happening? What are they doing to reinsure me? What is the EU doing to reinsure me? What is my own government doing to reinsure me? Because the things they have in place right now are garbage. And Facebook saying this is the best idea, and all these people say, "Oh, we're with the EU on this one. Protect the children." But what are you doing to still protect children? Because children are going to find workarounds. And what are you doing to protect our data too? Like, this screams security issues. This screams issues. You know what I mean? Again, my name is RevSauce9. I have a mouth and I have an opinion. I think this stuff is kind of a little whack and they've lost the plot, but that's just me across the board. I'll have a link to this article down below. It's going into effect. Companies are doing this. Microsoft's already planning on doing this with Windows 11. They're already planning on doing this across the board with Xbox. They're already planning on doing this with PlayStation. ID verifications are not going away. They're just going to these systems, and hopefully they find ways to keep our data secured. Because I'm terrified on the new era of the internet. I am. The new era of the internet is going to be a worrisome place because you're making us go through hurdles that we shouldn't be going through. And then what are you doing to reinsure me that my data is going to be protected? I just went through identity fraud. Okay. Somebody trying to use my shit to get employment. And I had to spend a year cleaning my shit and scrubbing my shit and paying for services and then talking to legal counsel and shit like that. So what are we doing? This whole system, it screamed red flags to me because I've already had my issues with the law in my time. So again, what are we doing to make it better for children and adults across the board? I think they need to go back to the drawing board and find a better solution. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to stop kids from getting rated M games and being online with adults. I get it. And finding spicy stuff on the internet. I get that. But kids are going to find workarounds no matter what. I did when I was a kid. Like, I found ways around parental controls all the time. It didn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. It didn't take kids are smart. Kids are going to find ways around. And it's just that what are they going to do? Put more restrictions on it? What are they going to make me have a Costco card and pull that out to show that I'm 18? My age? I just don't get it. I just feel like companies and governments have lost the plot on how to protect and cyber stuff. It's just, to me anyway, I can go on and on and on. I can wear my tinfoil hat. This is not a government politics type deal or a religious thing. This is me just giving my own opinion on, I feel that we're going to be jumping through hurdles to play video games. It's one thing, $80 video games, which I am not happy about, but now this, like, my hobbies are becoming complicated and whatnot. And now Spotify, to listen to music, you're going to have to show an ID to show that you're 18 plus. Now streaming platforms are going to do this. Watch when all these companies start doing it, where you have to have an ID check to even view the site. And then, like, if you're 16, you're only going to get certain content. It's going to hurt viewerships. It's going to hurt things across the board. And I think the EU lost the plot, personally. But that's my personal opinion. My name's RevSauce9. Let me know. Chime down below what you think. I know a lot of you are not happy with this, and I'm with you. Like, I think this was a good idea in theory for kids, but then it also hurts a lot of other people. And with data farming and people selling our data, it doesn't scream like a great idea either at the same time. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.